Welcome to Mirror's Edge Speedrunning 101, and this episode we're going to be talking about the landing mat slide. Now, as a pre-word, I'm going to be using a trainer in this episode to allow me to teleport, and it speeds up the sort of learning process a little bit and demonstration purposes. However, if you don't have access to the trainer, I'm using the Mirror's Edge 1.01 patch plus 11 trainer, I believe, from Cheat Happens. I got it from Game Copy World, but Cheat Happens is what's on the actual trainer label and all that stuff. But anyway, after the pre-word, this is also probably the easiest place to sort of learn this technique, and I believe it's time trial 3 in the training zone. I think the training one is just over there, so you can use either of these to train. But naturally and normally, when you jump onto these pads, you get a really long animation where this happens, and it's very undesirable. I think there's only 2 locations you actually do it in the actual speedrun, as of when this is made, and it's very slow and you can't get out of it. Like, whatever you do, nothing happens. And there's a couple of locations where you have to land on these pads, and you just have to do it. There's no other way of getting around it, as of now, as far as I'm aware. So there's a way of getting around this animation, however. Now, as far as I'm aware, the actual way of getting around it, it's just a forward again. If you jump and hit the 180 sort of turn key, I think Q is the default, you do this animation where you sort of turn around in midair and your legs fly out in front of you. Now, we're going to use that animation, and being at near max speed, it seems to stop the animation and you slide backwards like that, and that avoids the slow animation thing. Now, a lot of people seem to be thinking that it's the swearing, and if you jump, hit Q and then left click, you swear, but it doesn't seem to be that causes it. It just has to be at max speed turning around. So if you just run up for max speed, jump Q, and then hold S. I believe you'll go in any direction. If you just hold like D, I think, yeah, you'll slide to the side, even though your legs are that way. It looks a little bit weird, so you can hold W if you want, and you'll sort of go that way. So you can travel in a direction afterwards as you wish, and keep your speed, and skip that horrible ages sort of landing animation that's really awkward. This is especially important on the section with all the blue scaffolding, which I believe is in section 3, and there's a helicopter shooting you, and it's extremely annoying when you're doing the speed run because the helicopter doesn't disappear. And it's very important that you get this sliding animation down and nail it, because if you don't get it, you'll land, and 9 times out of 10 the helicopter will actually shoot you and die, and you have to repeat the section repeatedly. It's very frustrating, but if you get down this landing mat slide, it reduces the chances of the helicopter shooting you at the end pretty dramatically, because you won't be stopping anywhere. You'll just be running at sort of max speed, jumping off the objects, landing. Oh, okay, I didn't get it that time. It can be a bit finicky. There we go, got it. So you'll be sliding and keeping going at a max speed. Just slide off, land, do the side dodge boost, and you'll be happy camper. So yeah, that's the landing mat slide. Not that handy in many locations, however, where it is needed, it's pretty important. So that's Mirror's Edge Speedrunning 101 and the landing mat slide. See you next episode.